PewDiePie is, I feel like I'm saying PewDiePie. Definitely not. Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be going over color correctors, specifically under eye color correctors. Now, I know that a lot of you guys know, especially if you're not new to my channel, that I love color correcting the under eye area. That is one of my main things when it comes to my base, is color correcting the dark circles before applying concealer. I feel like you get the most out of your concealers when you do color correct when you need it or if you need it. Not everybody needs color correcting underneath the eye area or really anywhere along the face. Like, we don't all need color correctors, but if you have dark circles like I do, you will get the most out of your concealers if you color correct. Now, if you've been on my channel for any period of time, then you absolutely know that the Becca Undereye Brightening Corrector has been my go-to corrector for years now, years. However, they're closing their doors as of September of this year, and so the Becca Undereye Brightening Corrector will be no more. Now, because of this, I decided that I was not only going to start using my other correctors more, but that I was also going to purchase a few different ones, put them to the test, see what I thought about them, and present them to you guys in this video, and hopefully find ourselves either a replacement or a dupe, or at least something similar that we can work with for the under eye area. So the way that I'm going to showcase these correctors is by placing them underneath my concealer over here on the right side, and on the left side what you're going to see is the under eye area without a corrector underneath the concealer, so that you can see exactly how much a corrector does truly help the under eye area when it comes to concealing. Now, in order to keep it consistent, I am going to be applying the same amount underneath both under eye areas. So I'm going to be applying the same amount of concealer underneath both. I'm going to be blending both sides out with my now really dirty beauty blender, but not dirty when I first did it. I decided that blending with a damp makeup sponge rather than the usual way that I blend my concealers out, which is with a dense brush, was going to be the best way of doing this, since most people, not everybody, but most people do use a makeup sponge of some sort to blend underneath their eyes. So the first one up is the Tarte CC Under Eye Corrector. This retails for $25 US, and you can find it in two different shades. They have the shade for light to medium complexions, and they also have this particular shade for medium to tan complexions. I really like the way that it feels. It's nice, stays put underneath the eyes. It's not too dry at all. It keeps my under eye area nice and hydrated, and it actually pairs really well with my Tarte Shape Tape. Really well. Next up is this Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish Color Corrector. It retails for $32 US, and it comes in 4 different shades. You have shade 1, which is a fair shade. It's more of a pink tone, and that is going to help light complexions. You have this one, which is number 2, and it's more of a peach tone for light, medium to medium complexions. Then you have an orange, which is more for your tan. And she also has a red color corrector, which is meant for deep complexions. And while we're on the topic of shades, that is also something that I wanted to discuss, is not everybody needs a color corrector, and not everybody needs the same shade of color corrector. So if you have a lighter complexion, you'll be better off with something that's lighter than a peach tone. For medium, I believe peach correctors are perfect for my particular complexion, or if you have something close to what I am working with here, then a peach corrector will be perfect. Anything deeper, like something that's too orange or too red on me personally, I just don't feel that that works very well, because I actually end up using more foundation, more concealer in order to hide the red or the orange that's sitting underneath. We're not trying to completely change the color of our dark circles. We are simply trying to neutralize the darkness that's underneath the eyes. So perhaps if you have a lighter complexion and you're like, yeah, you know, I've tried the fair correctors and they're just not enough, like it just doesn't correct as much, maybe you need something that's a bit more opaque, something that's a bit more pigmented, and perhaps you're just using a corrector that's just not as opaque, and so you're still able to see the darkness through. But I just don't recommend using a color corrector that's not suited for your complexion, because like I said, you just end up using more product than you really should. So anyway, moving on. This is a nice creamy light formula. It really does remind me of the Tarte CC, but even a little bit lighter. This one, the Tarte CC, does have a little bit of tackiness once you apply it. This one almost feels like nothing, like it truly does vanish into feeling really, really lightweight, very, very soft. I like using this with my more hydrating concealers. So my newest one, the Ultra Creamy Shape Tape, that's what I've been pairing this with, and it works so well, because when I do use this with my Shape Tape, depending on what my skin's doing, it might look a little bit too dry, but I find that this and this, they pair really well together. Next, we have these Live Tinted Huesticks. I have 3 of the shades right here. I believe that there are 8 total in the collection, but not all of them are meant for color correcting. They retail for $24 US, and I really like them, not only because you can wear them as color correctors, but also because you can wear them as a lipstick. You can apply them onto the cheeks and transform them into a nice blush, or apply them on the eyes and have a nice base for your eyeshadows. It's just like, they're so versatile. That's why I like them so much. This one is a Perk, which is more of like a pinky peachy tone. They also have Balance, which this one is, I believe, their newest shade. And last but not least, we have Rise, which is a true orange, intense orange. So what I do when I wear these is I mix a little bit of Balance into Perk. I really love how they wear underneath my concealers. This formula is really nice and soft, but it's not soft like the Charlotte Tilbury one. It ends up feeling like skin is what this is. That's exactly how it feels underneath the eye area. So it doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel too drying underneath the eyes. It feels like skin, and it really does cancel out the darkness, takes care of everything under there before I go in with foundation. However, when I do wear this, because even though I do mix it with Perk, you can still see it. So I have noticed that I have to use just a little bit more concealer than what I usually use when I do grab these, because otherwise the under eye area just tends to look a little bit too orangey peach. Like, yeah, it doesn't completely hide underneath. That's the only downside with these, but they are really good correctors. The formula is amazing. And yeah, I hope that in the future, she comes out with something that's kind of in between these two, you know, like in between Perk and Balance. I feel like that would be perfect for me. Next up, we have the Bobbi Brown Corrector. This retails for $29 US, and you can find it in 13 different shades. I wear the shade Peach. Now, out of all of my correctors, like actual correctors, I find this one to be the most opaque out of all of them. And so when I pair this with a nice full coverage concealer, you can't see anything. You can't see anything peeking through. The only thing is that this is kind of a thicker formula, and it is quite opaque, and so when you apply it, you don't need a lot at all. Don't overdo it. Go really, really light with it, and it wears beautifully under concealers, under any kind of concealer. This is nice and hydrating. It has a little bit of tackiness, so it's not as soft as like the Charlotte Tilbury one or the Huesticks. This one does have a little bit of grip, which means that it does keep the under eye area looking pretty hydrated. So I can wear this one with my Tarte Shape Tape, the original formula that's more matte. This one pairs really well with that. The only thing, like I said, is don't overdo it, because it can look a little cakey and like too much underneath the eyes. Next up, we have the KAJA Cat Nap Under Eye Brightener. It retails for $19 US, and you can only find it, unfortunately, in this one particular shade, which they're calling peach, but it's not peach. I think that's a little bit more pink than peach. But anyway, I wish they did have a deeper option, because I actually really like this formula, which is why I decided to include it in today's video. It's really nice, it's really light, and it wears really well underneath concealers that I've paired this with. However, I just don't feel like it does a whole lot of neutralizing underneath my particular under eye area. It brightens it a little bit, so I do get better coverage, but it just doesn't do a whole lot of neutralizing underneath my eyes. I feel like if they had a deeper shade, then absolutely. But like I said, I really like the formula. And if you're someone who is of a more like lighter complexion, fair skin, and your dark circles maybe are not as intense as mine are, this you could get away with, and it truly does wear really nicely. Next up is the corrector that I'm the most excited about. Truly, I am, because I feel like we have finally found our replacement for the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. This formula, it wears the same, it feels the same, it looks the same, it's identical to the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector formula. This corrector is from Beauty Pie. This is their Superluminous Under Eye Genius Corrector in the shade medium to deep, which looks like that. It retails for $25 US. However, I believe Beauty Pie has this membership program where if you join the membership or if you join the program, then you can get this for $8.27. So at that point, I would definitely call this a dupe for the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, because it then becomes super affordable, right? However, you don't have to be a member in order to purchase this. You just get it at $25 instead of $8.27, which I was fine with, because even that, it's still a little bit down from the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector, which retails for $32 US. So you're still getting it at a discounted price. And I feel like this wears exactly the same. This is pretty much, I should look at the ingredients list, because this feels like the exact same formula. It truly does. The only downside is that they don't ship anywhere other than the UK and the US, right? Let me check. Yes, so unfortunately, that's the only issue that I see, is that they don't ship worldwide, but they are fairly new. It's a fairly new company. And so hopefully within some time in the future, they start shipping worldwide, because this is truly worth it. And it is absolutely a replacement for the Becca Cosmetics color corrector, which I love so much. All right, so now let's move on to some drugstore correctors. So we're going to start off with the PIXI corrector. This is their correction concentrate corrector in the shade Awakening Apricot. It retails for $12 US and it comes in two different shades, this one being the deeper of the two. It wears really nicely underneath the eyes. I would compare this formula to the Tarte CC formula, the CC under corrector formula. They feel pretty identical. And they both wear very similarly. So if you like this corrector right here, but you want to not maybe spend the $20-some on this one next time, I would say this is a nice replacement or a good dupe for this Tarte CC Under Eye Corrector. So next up, we have this color corrector from Flower Beauty. This is their Chill Out Smoothing Color Corrector. It retails for $10 US and it comes in 3 different shades. You have light peach, medium peach, and deep peach, which is not what I have. I don't have deep peach. I have medium peach. This is what it looks like right here. I like the formula because it is very nice and light. It's not heavy underneath the eyes at all. It does a really good job of correcting. It's not as like creamy and thick as some of my other correctors. This one truly does remind me of the Charlotte Tilbury. That's what this feels like to me. So whenever I am going to be wearing this, or the times that I've been pairing this with a concealer, it's usually with a more hydrating concealer, because I did find that when I paired this with my Tarte Shape Tape, it just like the original formula, it just looked a little bit too dry underneath the eyes. But if I pair this with a more hydrating concealer, that's usually not an issue. Like when I pair it with my Ultra Creamy Shape Tape, or when I pair it with my Pat McGrath, I don't find that to be the case, looking too dry underneath the eyes. The only thing with this one that I was unaware of when I first reviewed it is that this does have hemp derived CBD in it. So definitely check with your physician, with your doctor, if you're breastfeeding or pregnant. But yeah, other than that, it's a really good corrector. Next, we have this Ulta Beauty Color Correcting Concealer. It retails for $9 US and you can find it in 4 different shades. However, not every shade is intended for the under eye area, as they have a yellow, a green, a lavender, and this peach right here. This one is the one that I would say is definitely for the under eye area. They call it peach, but it's a little light. It's like a pinky peach. So this definitely would look great for someone with like lighter to light medium complexions. But if you have a deeper complexion, tan, even like medium to tan, then I think this might be just a little bit too light. I really wish that they had an alternative to this one as well. So like this peach, like a lighter peach, but then like a little bit of a deeper peach, or like something in between and then a deeper one. I feel like companies need to get better at, like, if they're going to launch color correcting shades, they need to understand that they need more than just like the 1 or the 2 options, because not every color corrector shade is for every person. So nice formula, really nice formula. It wears nicely underneath the eyes. It definitely does help to brighten the under eye area. I don't feel like this neutralizes as much as some of my other correctors because of the shade, but the formula is really nice. So that completes today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for requesting this. I really had a good time putting all of these color correctors to the test, and hopefully I was able to provide you with alternatives to the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I know not everyone was a fan of that formula, so hopefully I've given you other things to perhaps consider in the future. And if you really love the formula and you're in the UK or the US, now we have a replacement, okay? And hopefully in the future, Beauty Pie will start delivering outside of just the UK and the US, because yeah, if you're a fan of the Becca corrector, you will definitely love that one. Make sure you leave any other correctors that perhaps you're considering purchasing or that you want me to look into. Make sure you leave that in the comments section below, and I'll start a new list so that I can do another one of these in the future, because we can never have too many good correctors, right? Right. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram, where I absolutely love to interact with you guys. As always, take care, and I will see you all in my next video. Mwah! Bye.